Hi everyone, it's Joe. Welcome back to another ramble. I don't know if it'll work. Oh wait, let me back up. There's a process, and we can't lose the process because it keeps things normal. It is Monday, December 22nd at 11:34 p.m. Alrighty, so I had a thought before starting this, which is now this might come back to bite me, and it might not even work. But I noticed, at least I feel like it did, in the rambles where I have some higher energy, regardless of that source, I feel like I yawn less. So today I'm trying to keep the energy a little higher than normal. I don't know if the topics will match said energy, but I don't know. It might not even work, but if it does, I'm okay with that because the yawning is something I find rather annoying. So, any hooser, let us commence the rambling. So, last night after getting off the ramble, I what did I do? What? Watched Attack on Titan. Aside from that, I don't think I did much. That said, I'm still not very far in the show. Wait, did I tell you I started Attack on Titan last night? Or yesterday, or whatever day? I don't remember. Huh. I'm not sure. Anyway. So yeah, I'm on like episode 7 or 8. And then I went to bed, and I woke up today at 9:30 to the sound of like chainsaws or something. There were people outside my house like cutting a tree down, or trees, plural. Then at about 10:50, I got out of bed. I got dressed, went downstairs, had breakfast. Then I went to therapy and talked to my therapist. So we didn't talk about too much serious stuff. I know she asked how the anime she recommended was. The Starry Bride, I think is what it was called. And then I told her that I watched Konosuba. She didn't know what that was, but I think she's going to look into it. Told her I watched season 3 of Record of Ragnarok, which she actually recommended to me in the first place. She is currently watching it with her boyfriend, husband. I cannot remember if she's married. Where I'm going with this is, at one point, somehow, we were talking about how I struggle to make friends, and she said something, or how I struggle to talk to people, period, or really do anything like that involves another human. And so she had made a comment that, she said that she thinks part of it is that I use my disability as an excuse as to why people wouldn't like me. Which, yeah, maybe, sort of. I think have I talked about my disability on here before? I'm sure I have. If I haven't, I don't know. If somebody comes in here and it's like, Joe, I am a viewer, I don't know if you've talked about it or not, please talk about it, I will, because I don't remember if I have or not. I mean, I know I've mentioned bits and pieces, but I don't know if I've ever gone into full detail. So, I told her that I don't really know if that's what it is. I mean, well, now I know I use part of it, but I told her, I was like, yeah, I was like, when I was a little kid, I used to love talking to people. I was like, yeah, I would talk to them, and I used to love to give presentations. Like, I hate presentations now. I used to love to give presentations in school. And she was like, oh, like, she was really, really surprised. And she was like, were you like bullied at all in school? Like, just like in general, possibly due to my disability. And I was like, no. And she was like, oh, she's like, I had always just assumed and that maybe that was the reason that I'm not much of a people person. Not saying that extrovert or introverts can't just be introverts, but I think specifically because of that and some other things, she assumed that I said no. I said I was never bullied, and I was explaining to her that when I was in elementary school, or I'm sorry, middle school. Wait, hold on. No, elementary school, because I started going there when I was like 7. So yeah, I would go to the YMCA for like over the summer, and then I would go there like during the school year, before and after school. So I was explaining to her that like the way the Y like there. So I started going there in the summer, and so what it used to be was you could bring like your DS or your iPad, or you could bring an electronic device, and you could like do that all day. So that is what I would do. And so when I first showed up there, I mean, I was nervous, but it didn't really bother me, because it's like, oh, I've got my DS. Nothing else really matters. Also, before I got huge into, I mean, like, I have always loved video games. Before I got like huge into them, like, I would go outside and I would like do things outside. Well, and I would have like friends in the daycare I go to, and like I'd play outside with them and I'd have a great time, whatever. But then like I got really huge into video games, and I stopped going outside. But anyway, so age 7, at the Y, I had my DS, whatever. It's like I don't really, I'm nervous, but I've got my DS, so everything's fine. And I remember I ended up like making friends because of said DS. I don't remember how. I don't know if they were just intrigued by my gameplay or something. Or it was just, oh, look, this person has a DS. I have a DS. Whoa. So I was telling her that I was like, yeah, so, that used to be okay. And then they changed the policy, I want to say like during the school year, which then inevitably went to their summer as well. It used to be like they changed it so you could only bring said electronic device on Fridays. So the rest of the week, I'd be there after school. And you'd be there a little bit before school, but you weren't there for very long. So I'd be there after school. And all you could do, I say this like there was nothing to do. There was plenty to do. There's just nothing that interested me anymore, because I had evolved, or devolved, depending on how you looked at it, and mostly just wanted to play video games. So you'd go there, and then it's like, you could do your homework. You could talk to your friends. You could play a number of the board games they had, play with whatever the toys they had. They had blocks and Legos and whole 9 yards. So, I still had this group of people, and I would talk to them, and we would do stuff that was non-video game related. But I was explaining to her, I was like, yeah, there'd be these days where nobody is here that I talk to, and I was like, yeah, so I would just, and I mean, I said this full seriousness, straight voice. I was like, yeah, I would just, find a chair, like you'd come back from school, and forgive me if I have the time wrong. It's been a long time. A long time since elementary school, anyway. You'd come back from school, and you'd be back at 2:30 or 3 or whatever. Honestly, I feel like we came back even earlier than that, though, but I genuinely don't remember. So I'd find a seat, and I would just sit there. Like, I would sit there for however many hours until I'd get picked up at, say, 5:30 or 6. I would just sit there. Like, if my friends were there, I would just sit there. I wouldn't talk to anybody. I would just sit there. And to me, it made sense. It's like, most of these objects that I would typically play with, I only play with because my friends play with them, and it was enjoyable, but none of them are here, so I guess I'll just sit here. And then, like, I was telling Athen, my therapist, I was explaining to her, I was like, yeah, or there'd be days where we'd go outside, and I don't really like the outside, so I would just sit there. Like, I would just hang, or we'd go to the gym, and I have, like, when I say gym, I don't mean, like, workout gym, I mean, like, school gym. I mean, 4 basketball hoops, 1 on each cardinal direction of the room, then basketballs. It's like, that's it. People would just, like, throw balls around. And I would very regularly get hit in the head with said basketballs. So I would just sit in a corner, and I would just sit there because I was like the best. It would seem to me that the safest place to be would be in a corner. So I would go in a corner. I would literally sit there. I mean, if my friends were here, I'd talk to them, and they would either join me in said corner or they would go play basketball or whatever. But, like, otherwise, I just sit there. And I was even telling her that one time my mom came to pick me up, and I was sitting in the corner, and she's like, is Joe in some kind of trouble? And I'm like, no, Joe's not. He's just sitting in the corner. And they're like, well, why? My mom's like, why is that? And we don't know. So I was telling my therapist all this, and she's like, Joe, that's kind of traumatic, and relatively concerning. So now, apparently, next time or some other time, she says she wants to ask me about my childhood. Isn't that exciting? Apparently, what I think is just normal introverted behavior, sitting and staring and saying nothing, or sitting in a corner for however long and saying nothing is traumatic. I don't know. To me, it's always seemed normal, I guess, because I just didn't want to interact with people. So, I don't know. So that was my therapy appointment. Then I came back here, and I had lunch. Also, next time I go to therapy, she wants to check in with my mom. I think it has to do with, like, anxiety meds or something. Maybe getting them. I don't know. She thinks they will be very, very helpful. Unfortunately, did not have enough time to tell her about the other day, where I was having an episode of sorts. But it's fine. Also, turns out Walmart scheduled me some more. So I was originally scheduled to work the 28th, Sunday, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then that was it. I'm now also scheduled to work that Saturday, Sunday following that Friday. And then I'm also scheduled to work, the 5th and the 8th, but my leave starts on the 5th, so I will obviously not be at those shifts. Hopefully getting that figured out is relatively easy, because darn it, yawned. Man, I thought my plan was working. Sometimes getting the leave, my leave has been approved, but sometimes getting them to take the shifts off can be kind of a pain in the butt. I believe I told you all that I was supposedly going to have a meeting with the lady I've been meeting with and the dude who about internship and whatnot, and they send me emails and they text and whatever. So I was supposed to meet with them on Friday I was supposed to meet with them last week, and they were like, you can do Friday at 9, and I was like, no, I can't. I said I could do Tuesday afternoon, aka tomorrow, like this upcoming Tuesday. And so then they text me. I received a text today, mid-therapy session, that said, okay, Joe, we can meet with you Tuesday at 10:45 or 11. And I said, sorry, can't do morning, just afternoon, because that's what my email said. So they're like, okay, well, what can you do next week? Well, I have Monday, Tuesday off, so I said I could do Monday the 29th, Tuesday the 30th, sometime in the afternoon, which to me would mean anytime after 12. I mean, including 12, I guess. So, and then I asked my friends, I said, hey guys, if I said I could do something with you sometime afternoon, what time would you assume I'm referring to? And they were like 12 to 4, 12 to 5, So I sent this text, and I'm like, I'm available Tuesday, Monday or Tuesday, sometime in the afternoon. Could you specify? And they had texted me back, and they're like, could you specify what you mean by that? Like clarify? And I texted back, I said, anytime after 12. My afternoon is open. I feel like the word afternoon clarifies what I'm referring to pretty easily. But yeah, so now I'm waiting to see what the word on that is. At this point, I don't even, I'm sitting here we're not even going to meet till I go back to school. So I mean, I don't know that, just a feeling I have. Oh yeah, I think I just said this within my rambling, but now I'm gonna instead of communicating with both of them through email and the lady through text as well, now I'm in a group text with both the lady and the guy, who never responds to emails, nor has he responded to the text at all. So that's great. Yeah, no, that's these. I don't want these people to have my number. Yeah. So anyway, came back from therapy, had lunch, watched some Attack on Titan. Oh, and I started playing that new horror game I got, Horses. Okay, so I started the game up, and there's a very long list of, trigger warnings about all these nasty things that'll be in the game. The game is in black and white, which I somehow forgot. It's kind of like I'm playing a silent movie. I think it might even be in 4:3 aspect ratio. And the text is in Italian. It's so, I'm not, it's not, jump scares. I mean, there has been maybe, one, but, there's no sound other than, occasional music and occasional sound effects, but very, very rare. Everything just, feels very creepy. The atmosphere feels so creepy, and the characters look off-putting. The horses that are really people, that are, people slaves, oh my god, they're so creepy. I would talk about it more, but I feel like I'm going to make people uncomfortable. And also, if I do decide to talk about it, I will give warning. I will give a very giant warning before I get into it. That it can make people uncomfortable. But I want to play more of it before I give my full thoughts on it, since I have just, it feels like barely started it. But yeah, I just want to let you all know that I started it, and it is a very creepy game, which, since it is a horror game, that's a good thing. Let's see, after this ramble, I know the winter sale is on Steam right now, and I believe on PlayStation as well, so I want to check the deals of things, and then I may, because maybe, I don't know if I said this or not, my friend Riley started up a Minecraft realm here recently, and all three, the other three of us got invites. Everybody's been playing on it but me. Maybe I'll get on the Minecraft realm and just kind of chill by myself. Minecraft is one of the games, and I'm probably going to get flack for this. Minecraft is one of the games in my head that, it can be fun with people, but, I think it is far more enjoyable solo. Even when we play together, I prefer to be off on my own, doing my own thing. I have no desire to, beat the game, or go to the nether, or, mid-max and get, enchanted armor, and, I just want to chill. I just want to, play the game. I just want to build a base, get food, just kind of chill. I feel like my dad's about to come in, so I'm gonna wrap it up. And I'm not wrapping it up early. If anything, I just want to talk about Minecraft a little more, but I can do that tomorrow maybe. I don't know. But I've covered everything I want to talk about. If you want to hear about my disability more, or my childhood, I guess, from what I can remember, I'll be happy to share. Just let me know. But as always, if you liked what you're listening to, hit like, leave feedback in the comments below, subscribe, and turn on post notifications to stay up to date on things I post. Follow me on Twitter if you feel so inclined to do so. The link for that will be in the description. I did say yesterday I was just going to push it one more time, which is today. By all means, please check out the musical video if it seems like something you'd be remotely interested in. Unfortunately, it's still at 0 views, which I'm not doing it for views, but that one video, just because it's something I'm excited for, pushing it a little bit. But as always, your support means the world to me. I love you all, and most importantly, I miss my bestie more than anyone else in the world, and I miss her so much, and she is the best person ever. I love her more than anything, and I can't wait until I get to talk to her again and hang out with her and just go on adventures. But I'll be back tomorrow with another ramble. Until then, bye.